Hi there, my name is Sian Ellis-Thomas. I'm a website designer and trainer, and I specialise on the Wix platform. BoArts have asked me to demonstrate to you how to make video promotions using the Wix platform. These can be used on your social media to promote your art and your events, and also for email marketing. Now, you might wonder why they thought it was a good idea to show you how to make these video promotions. And the reason is that video is the most engaging form of online marketing that you can do. Video gets 300% more site traffic than static media on any site when it's used. It generates 48% more views on social media, and it gets a whacking 1200% more shares than text and static imagery. So it is very engaging, and if you do want your efforts in marketing to go further, if you want more views, more clicks, more shares, then you need to be making some video to promote your events and your products. If you haven't already got a Wix account, then you can go to Wix and open one. It is free. Just go to wix.com and sign up using your email and password, and then you will have an account. If you then just open any template that's on there, or even a blank template, it doesn't matter. You can then access the video maker, which I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. If you've already got a Wix account and you're already building something, that's also okay, as long as you've got a site in the back end. You don't have to have a premium plan, and you don't have to have a premium plan to use the video maker. It's absolutely free. You are allowed to make 4 videos for every site that you build in the back of Wix. But when you get to the end of your allowance in one site, what I suggest is that you just start building another site. Even if you never publish it, it doesn't matter. You will still be able to use the video maker to make another 4 videos. You don't have to do anything else on the site, and you can always download those videos, which I'm going to show you how to do, onto your own desktop, and then you can use them however you want. So although there is a limit of 4, you can actually open as many sites as you want, and therefore you've got as many videos as you want to make. So it's a neat little sheet. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to build a video for you in real time. I have made some assets which I have collected beforehand, which is just to save time, and I would suggest that once you've had a play around with it, when you're creating them, that you do that too. You need to create up to 15 pictures or videos. They don't have to be high resolution. They can be, 70 dpi is probably fine, because they're only going to be viewed very small. And that also will speed up the video making process if the images are not too big and video as well. So you can make those graphics in using any graphic package that you like. I use Photoshop, but you can use Canva or any of those ones that are freely available, and they don't cost very much. Or you can just use photos that are in the back of your site, or just straight photography. I like to add text over the top of them as well, to add a little bit more dynamics and a bit more information to my videos, but you'll see that as we go along. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, and then you should see my Wix desktop. There we are. And yes, there you are. You should see that now. So you can see I'm in the back of my Wix account. It's my Wix account up here. And what I've done is I've selected a Wix template for a artistic photographer, because I thought I would make it so that it had some relevance to the creatives out there from BoArts that might be watching this. So I wanted to choose an artist's site so that I could use some of the assets that are on that site. And all I did was I screenshot some of these images that are on this site. This artist doesn't exist, by the way, so I'm not breaking the law. This is just a template that's in the back of Wix. So Marcus Berg, the artist, doesn't really exist. So he won't be annoyed that I've been copying some of his images to make my video. So here I'm just going to select the site. You do not have to go into the full editor, the full Wix editor, to access the video maker. It's actually in the site dashboard. So that's before you go into the editor, and that's just editing now. As you can see, it's doing something, creeping under the strain of the 7:30 internet traffic in Forest Hill. But it will be up in just a moment. There we are. Here she comes. And this takes me to the site dashboard, which is just loading on the left of the screen here. And this allows me to access different parts of the dashboard underneath each header. So I'm just going to go to Marketing and SEO and wait for that to load. So I'm having another go at that now. There we are. And then, as you can see down here, we've got Video Maker. So that's how easy it is to get into the Video Maker without going into the editor if you don't want to. And then here we are at the front end of the Video Maker, and we're going to go to Create Video, and it's going to give me a little drop down. I'm going to opt for square. The reason is that's the most popular format. It will render very well on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. But you can make them in the other types as well if that's what you want. So I'm going to choose square there and wait for that to load. It's now loading the actual editor for Video Maker, and that's coming up now. There it is. I'm going to customize video, so I'm going to click on customize, and it's got placeholder in here, as you can see, and I'm just going to X off all of those like that, and I'm just going to stay here and add imagery. I am allowed to add up to 15 images and videos, or a mixture of both. And I'm in the back end. What I've done is I've created these, as I've said earlier, from some of the images on this template site. So these are just screenshots that I've then loaded into Photoshop and added some text to if I want to, but we are going to add some text within the application as well. You'll see that as we do it. So what I'm going to do to save time is I'm going to add all of these to the back end of my video by clicking on the first and the last with the Shift key down, and that adds all of them. And then once I get them in the video, I'm going to move them around because it's very easy to do. So for instance, if I wanted this one to be here, I just shift and drag it like that. Or this one to be here. To be there. I just click and drag it, and then it will be in the right place. I'm going to get rid of that one because I don't want it. And then I'm going to just check that everything else is where it should be. Yeah, so if I wanted to move things around again, just click and drag. And you can just, it's very easy. So I've got those all in position. And now what I want to do is I want to add some text to the text that goes over the top of what's happening in the video. So I'm going to add the following text, which I've thought of before. You always get 4, so you can plan that in advance. Just change that to that. Having a little bit of topicalness to it. You can use upper or lower case, obviously. Feed your soul. And this is my final closing text, so I'm going to say, miss it. Whoops. And miss out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to click next, but I could go to the next screen by clicking up here as well, because these are the options that we have. We're in content at the moment. There's also design, music, and business info. But I'm going to click on next down here. And this takes me into the next part of the production process, which is the design. And I'm going to click on the themed colors. I want a nice bright purple here. If you know the hex number, you can put the hex number in here. If you don't, you can just click and drag to the color that you want. And I'm going to choose a nice bright green. I'm going to choose a text font style here. You can see there are lots of good ones for headers, and it's already on square, so I'm going to stay with that. There are themes here. As you can see, there's quite a few, and they are making more. There are lots of really good ones. This is a particularly good one that I like for certain things like this, like the one we're doing. And then I'm going to click on next, which will take me into the music area of the editor. So this allows me to select a track to be used. And there are lots of tracks here. You can click on each one. You can click on one. It will come up here, and you can play it. And if you've got your speakers on, then it will come up in the on your speakers, and you can listen to lots of them. The other thing you can do is just to click on filter, which is what I generally do, and I weed out the things that I'm not interested in, because they add new ones all the time, and it's sometimes good to pick something that you feel will resonate particularly with the thing you're making. So I will pick on funk and instrumental only, because I don't like vocal. Generally, I tell people to avoid vocals over the top of video unless you're very, very careful what you're using. And then the selection that I've got up now is funky tracks that are only instrumental. And I'm going to click on this one because I listened to that earlier and I know I like it. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to add my business info. I call this the business card, and I would urge you to always use this because it's the final opportunity you have, and it's the end screen. So it's the final slide, if you like, that will be up when the video finishes, and so they will need your information here. So I'm going to pretend that I'm Marcus Berg, and my tagline is Art for the Soul. My site is whatever my site is. My telephone number is there. I'm going to upload my logo. Again, I would always urge you to do this if you have one. I'm going to use this as my logo, which I prepared for this very purpose. There it is. Now let's come up. Let's put it back again. And then the additional information I want here is book now on the website. Okay, and then I'm going to press apply and preview. Now, the preview process is when it is taking all of the assets that I've put into the back of the editor and it is rendering them for me to look at. Once it has rendered them all, which takes around about a minute, it might take a little bit longer because of the time of night and that people are on the internet and I'm also on the video. So it might take a little bit longer, but generally it takes about a minute, which is not a long time really to wait. When it's actually rendered, you get to have a look at it. So what I would say whilst we're waiting is prepare beforehand the assets that you want. You want about 15 images. Doesn't have to be 15, but you know, if you want the maximum, then it's 15. Make sure you choose them properly. Put some messages on them beforehand if you want extra messages on your video, or you can just depend on the titles that you get, and then you'll be ready. Upload those, and then you'll be ready to go. So there you are. That did in about a minute. And then what you can do is you can watch it. So we'll now just test it. Let me just say to you now, and please don't forget this, when you have tested it, if you're happy, that's great. You can go to save and share. If you're not happy, go back and edit it. That's the chance you get. You cannot go back and edit once you have saved it, because it's there, it's done, it's been committed, if you like, and you can't go back and edit that one. You'd have to make a new one. So make sure you're happy with it when you look at the preview. So I'm just going to show you the preview to show how fantastic it is. And there's your end screen, as I was saying. So that's the thing that the last thing that the person sees is that end screen with your information on it. So I think you'd agree that given that that took me about 5 minutes to prepare, that is a pretty good and professional result. As I said, there's lots of themes in the back. You change the color, you change the font, you change the imagery, you add your own imagery, you put text on the imagery, so you're adding yet another dimension to the video. So when that is done, you press save and share. Save and share is saving it to the back of your Wix site that you've built it in, and then it's allowing you, it's actually picking up an opportunity for you to share it there and then, which I'll show you in a moment. So again, this process is actually the final commitment to laying the video down. Once you've done this, it's there, and we'll be able to look at what we can do next. Again, this takes around about a minute. So the whole process of creating the video, if you've done a little bit of preparation in making the imagery that you want to put on it and preparing your text, would take around about 10 to 15 minutes to do. Obviously, I can do these really quickly because I've been doing it since they launched the Video Maker, which was only last year, but I make them for all of my client sites now for launch. And there you are, it's ready. And so you can see on this screen here, you've got the opportunity to share it immediately on Facebook if you want to. You can share it to your YouTube channel if you have a YouTube channel. And you can download the file. That's what we're going to do. It's the most useful for me, for my clients, because most of my clients don't have YouTube. They do have Facebook, but they would rather the opportunity to share it where and whenever they like. So what we're going to do now is just download the file. It's as easy as that, and there it is on my screen, as you will see. It's there, and it's just downloading. And then when that's on your desktop of your machine, you can share that to your social media as you like. So you can share it immediately on Facebook. If you want to share it on your social media via your phone, then you can, what I tend to do is email myself the video as an attachment, open it on my phone, save it to my phone, and then upload it to whatever social media that I want it to go on. So, so that is it. It is now in the back of your Wix site and ready to be used. Now then, so the other thing I was going to say to you is that if you would like to have a Wix account, I don't work for them, by the way, I work with the platform, but because I'm a certified trainer and I was their ambassador for 3 years running their events, I do get a special discount, and so that I'm allowed to pass on to the people that I train. And so this counts. And so I do have a 30% discount that you can have if you want to build a Wix website and attach your own URL to it and get a premium plan. If you want that, it's about 30 quid saving, so it's kind of worth having if you're going to build a site anyway. If you want that, you can get that by sending an email to BoArts, and they will send you the code directly. And the email is nunnery@boarts.com. Anyway, so the last thing I was going to just say was thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to get in touch with me, I do build sites. I do one-to-one training on Zoom at the moment because of the lockdown. But if you would like to get in touch with me, then you can do so via my website, where you can also have a look at my work, obviously. So my email address is set@setdesign.london, and there's my telephone number, and you can also have a look at my work. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.